Howdy, folks. Another day, another missing dollar. Another day, another dollar here at Gone Rogue Games. So I think what we have in here today is the new Lorcana, which should be releasing. What is the release date for Floodborn? I know it's coming up soon. So we'll see what we get. Again, this is kind of the sad state of Lorcana. This is the allocations that we have, which is going to be very, very small. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. We do need a lot of it to run events here. And the rest will go to patrons. Again, trying to figure out the best way to actually spread it out. Because no matter how I do it, people are going to be upset because there's just not enough to go around. So I guess we can just kind of talk shop, look at the dogs, interrupt the video, and go tippity-tappity on the wood floor. And kind of speak about the market. So first off, man, oh man, is Pokemon in a terrible, terrible shape. I don't think I'm going to carry Pokemon until they can actually figure things out. Which is, by the way, if you guys, like, I've been kind of just searching a few Pokemon stuff. Now my feed is just flooded with Pokemon. Have you guys ever seen a more cringy community than the Pokemon pack openers? Jeez. I mean, they're maybe I won't offend people here, but geez, they have a bunch of adult men that are just, prancing around acting like they're 4. And it's just, oh man, it's awful. And they all have like millions of subscribers too. And I guess, that's the name of the game with YouTube, is to go after the cheap clicks. So I guess it works, but ew. That's all I can say about Pokemon. It is absolutely, that's kind of how they've catered it towards, though. It's just people that are just wanting to open up booster packet or boost pack. Maybe it does work because, again, the market's collapsed with Pokemon, but if you actually check the sales data, it's still pretty hot. Like, if you look at Battle Pass VIPs of how many sell per day, or like Nest Balls, or like all of the staples in Pokemon, and I get it that most decks, there's probably a greater percentage of decks in Pokemon that use things like Battle Pass VIP than decks in Magic the Gathering that use things like Lightning Bolt or Deadly Dispute, or I'm just thinking a lot of like Evergreen, just because you have the specific colors. You don't have like a lot of colorless staples. Like Soul Ring and Commander would be the one kind of thing I'd compare it to. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, some of these trainers in Pokemon, how many sell per day, and it doesn't even budge the price. Like, we're talking hundreds in a week will sell, and there's just more supply coming in from these older sets to keep up with demand. It just shows how much Pokemon is just massively overprinted at this point. Well, maybe it's not overprinted if people are still buying it, but I don't know. It's definitely something I think they're going to have to decide if they value strategic partners and going the game store route, or if going the big box store route and kind of the online sellers is a better route for them. I know that Pokemon has been trying to transition over into more of a playable game than a collectible game, which I've said on this channel before is kind of weird because Magic seems to be doing the opposite. Other than we are starting to see a lot of good signs from Magic, which I get a lot of pushback in the comics with people and talking to other people that just have no faith in Magic the Gathering at this point in time with their decision making, with the debacle of things like Magic 30 and just being tone deaf with the community. I'm actually starting to see Wizards at least pretend to care and at least want to have those discussions. So there was a while on like the WPN Facebook page and all these other places that us retailers can actually talk directly with Wizards people, where it was completely like out of sight, out of mind. It's like, oh, well, thanks for your feedback. We're obviously not going to do anything with that feedback. Have fun. And now it's like there literally is discussion back and forth. There really is like, okay, what can we do with this? Now, of course, there's lots of things I'd like for Magic the Gathering to do. First of all, I'd like them to actually do events that are fun rather than this dinosaur crap that they're trying to push right now, that is just trying to do a boring old draft with an extra pack, which I think is uninspired and no one wants to play it. That's kind of the scope of Magic now, is no one wants to do anything but play Commander. And I don't really fault them because the company hasn't really put anything out that has got people excited. There hasn't been any big hoorahs for, wasn't there like a big Magic tournament over maybe it's a Star City Games one. But it's just like, maybe I'm just out of the community. I used to really look forward to these things and look at deck lists and look at things that kind of the lead up to all the tournaments. And now it's just like, I don't care. Does anyone care? Do websites care anymore? Because I don't really see the Twitter posts. And again, maybe I'm just such a boomer at this point that I've have lost contact with the new blood, but I think that's just like Magic's just turned into casual Commander players, and I hope that there will be a leaf turned where Magic can start realizing that they should try to focus on everything that has worked for the past 30 years, and they can do it both. They can have a pretty good release for like the casual commanders, as well as still. Wow, there's a lot of packaging in this box for whatever this is here. Oh, never mind. This is the Pokemon Classic. Maybe Lorcana did not come yet. Let me check my manifest here. Ouch. Okay. That is pretty dismal. Okay, so the booster boxes? Really? Really? Okay, maybe I didn't get any Floodborn booster boxes from this distributor. Now, this isn't the main distributor. Wow, that is pretty sad. Now I'm looking at it. Starter decks, collector sets, and Luminers troves. So this distributor not allocating me any booster boxes? Yikes. Big yikes for Lorcana, unless they're coming with a subsequent shipping, which I thought they might, because I thought for sure I had some regular Lorcana coming from them as well. I don't know. I'll have to reach out to them and see what is going on. With Lorcana, I was all excited because I thought we'd be able to do a Floodborn booster box opening, but however, it looks like it's just going to be Troves. So let's get this little monstrosity out of the way, which I think is just another cash grab that Pokemon's going down at the wrong time. And I get it. Like, the market was hot. A lot of times production is years behind of ideas of coming to fruition. And so this is, in my opinion, Pokemon's version of the... Holy crap, this thing is huge. So I guess I should have kept this sealed. I had no clue it was this big. Look at the pictures. I did not think it was this massive. And these things are expensive. How much did I pay for this sucker? Okay, so this is the Pokemon Trading Card Classic game. Look at this sucker. This thing is massive. It's going to cost like $20 to ship. This is going to cost like $30 to ship to the East Coast if I were to ship it. Wow, this thing is huge. But you got some cool dice counters in it. Okay, so it says this is the Classic Collection, which is just a bunch of reprints from the OG Pokemon. So, huge. That thing is massive. I wonder if someone on the YouTube wants to sponsor a box opening since it's no longer sealed. I opened it up from the ceiling, from the box here, that even though this sucker, I guess it does have the label right there. So, I've desealed it from its outer box. It's worthless now. It's worthless. It's no longer considered sealed. Womp womp. Yeah, so this is coming out I think I get a whopping, through all the distributors that I ordered these through, I think I might get 4. I think every distributor did come through and get me 1, possibly. So I will have like a few of these available. I don't even know if I have the market for them here locally, because most of my Pokemon expensive, like the people that used to like really splurge on Pokemon, I haven't seen them for a while. And maybe they just found, typically those type of people, especially when I'm just not willing to compete with the online sellers that are making nothing. Like the people that spend a lot of money on Pokemon and, they don't really play at my store, I get it why they wouldn't want to, patron us if they can get it for cheaper on the eBays and the Amazon and stuff. But all the big spenders I haven't seen in a while. So most of our Pokemon are just kids coming in, buying a few packs, buying a build and battle here and now, buying a few EX boxes, things like that. So I don't think I have a market for this. So this will probably go up on the Patreons to all the people that are interested. And unfortunately to that, like I haven't really been able to cultivate a big community of Pokemon, A, because I haven't really been in that community, and like B, it's just because I haven't been able to get supply of Pokemon, and now that I can, it's like I don't really have any people that really want it. So anyway, what we're doing here, this is the box that I think is going to have Lorcana in it. And I guess we'll take the first look at it, and possibly I'll do an auction house on the good old Buckles House of Booty if you are a patron. If people just want Floodborn opened, I'll do some Floodborn box openings tomorrow, I would say, because I don't think I'll have time today because it is board game night, and we actually are full for board game night here at the store. And it's kind of my one day that I actually do play games here. is we got a nice little community of board gamers here. I'll have to show you the guys sometime. Maybe we'll have to review some board games. Hey, look, some clear boulders. Look at that. We got these suckers have been so hard to find. We have some clear boulders. I don't know what I mean the shot here. I think we were when we set up the camera, but some clear 60 boulders. Wow, those have been hard to get. All the other colors are good. Again, if you are a patron, I can get accessories. I've shown you the story before. So I think that's what I hope sets me apart, is I want to be your one-stop shop for cheap stuff, all for your gaming needs. So if you want to start your own play group, definitely shout or message me. That's the word I'm looking for. Give me a message and I can help you start one. Because this is how, before I started a store, we had play groups. We had play groups that would just meet up in people's basements and whatnot. And so I think we're going to start going back to that route too, because if you've been looking at social media lately and just the amount of stores that are collapsing, and I knew this would happen, like we had too many cooks. I don't want to say it's a good thing because that's awful. That's like such a terrible, like we probably should have more game stores out there, but it probably was, there probably were too much game stores, especially online. Like that space is so oversaturated with people. And I'm thinking that some cities too probably had too many game stores in the scope of things to meet the demands of their community. So it kind of sucks because I think we're on the downward of the not the bubble, but I think that the glory days of tabletop gaming and collectible card games they're past. And will it ever come back? I think that there have to be some cultural shifts that they're going to have to somehow start to get the younger crowds into these. And we've seen it with like Minecraft and things, those type of games that were older games that had resurgence to get the younger crowds in. And again, Minecraft is a good example because that's a game with, not the best graphics, not the best in the scope of things. Like it's very old school. And so there might be that appeal to the younger Zoomers and the newer generations coming up. And if they can capitalize on those, I think we can get back to a healthy. And of course, we're in a weird place in the real estate market where everyone's getting clobbered. The landlords are getting clobbered. The renters are getting clobbered. Everyone has just lost money based on their, people bought property, lost in their investments. And so it's got a lot of correction to do, like because game stores can't afford, I'm pretty sure they can't afford the real retail space. If you're looking like game stores that are looking to get retail space right now, it's not worth it. If you just do just think of the amount of inflation that has occurred in the past year, 2 years, and the lack of that actually transitioning just over to board games, card games. Like prices have not increased, they've decreased in that scope, where everything else, the cost of everything else has gone up. So this doesn't make sense for a lot of those type of stores to even try to compete at this time. I think that we're going to see a lot of collapses after December, because I'm predicting this is going to be a terrible holiday season for collectibles and trading card games, because not necessarily the economy is so bad, because I think that those were gifts of yesteryears. So those were like, everyone got Pokemon and Magic for the last couple of years. And I think that people are going to start going back towards things that now that they didn't indulge on. And again, these are how markets work. They go in these trends. And it's just the worst time for board games, card games, and stores in general in this type of atmosphere, because there are just so many factors that are collapsing in all at once that I think are going to affect the market. With the sad thing with Magic and Pokemon, though, is their sales are still really up. But again, I'm thinking we're at the top of that peak, and then we're going to start to see the downward trend until things can naturally correct and we can get a better representation of where the market really should be with these collectibles, and these card game manufacturers can actually start to adjust and make the good adult decisions to really reel in their print numbers to meet the real demand of their. Can't go wrong with good old PhD for packing this sucker. This sucker has so much packing material in it. So I thought I was getting a lot more, and then I look, it's just like all packing material in this big box. Okay, so here is the moment everyone's waiting for. Kevin's allocations that I put in for literally hundreds of. We have three of these collector chests with, I don't know if I'm in there. I'm probably off. There, can I look here? I wish I could tell which camera is actually the one that's, so we got the Lorcana Floodborn with the good old Stitch and Maui, Maleficent, Mickey Mouse, and Genie. I haven't looked at any of the spoilers. Like I said, I do like Lorcana. I think it's a fun little game to brew and play a few games, but I get burnt out pretty quick when I play Lorcana. I hope this isn't messing up my mic. This seems like attracted a little lace hair keeps getting on the mic. Ay, you'd think I'd be more professional here. And we have, what's this? We got a Flesh and Blood box in here. We have this good old Flesh and Blood. Bright Lights. Oh, yeah. Patron orders some Bright Lights. We have access to Flesh and Blood, of course, which is still a game that is going strong and has found a good happy medium with their print runs and players. They've also realized they need to be a little bit in the warehousing business, and they release a lot less and have enforced maps through like distributors and stores selling on the eBays and TC players. Okay, so these are the starter displays for Lorcana. Let's go ahead and open one of these suckers up and see what these guys look like. Yeah, kind of sad they don't have booster boxes. I don't know if it's coming in another shipment. Maybe maybe it's coming with the first chapter. I'll have to give them a call. The joys of being a store. Have to figure out where all your stuff is. So we have the Lorcana starter decks. So let's actually give this sucker a nice little open up, because again, I probably will want to spread these out to patrons that I do sell them to. So I'm going to go to the players first for sure. So if you actually want to play this game, you're going to have a higher chance of actually getting one of these than if you want to speculate and invest in this game. Like, again, I have no problem with people that want to play that game, the investing and speculating. To each his own. But I do typically like to serve the players first, because they're the ones that keep the game going. All right, so we have the starter decks with the, we have an Amber and Sapphire and Amethyst. They only do 2 different ones this time. We have Amethyst and Steel and Amber and Sapphire. Yeah, so there's only 2 different decks. Yep. There is one way through on the ground. There is a Tiana and Merlin starter deck with the Amethyst and Steel. And then we have the villains deck with the Gaston, the coolest villain ever, who is not a villain. He's actually a hero. And Beast was the bad guy. Good old Gaston. Come on, no one fights like Gaston. And the Queen. So it'll be interesting to crack these suckers open, maybe play some Lorcana games. Maybe we can get a community going here again at the store. Biggest problem with good old Richfield, Utah is we really need this place to grow in the right demographics. Unfortunately, we have a kind of a gap in our demographics for 20-somethings to 40-somethings. There's just not a lot of work and jobs here, and so that's one of the things we've kind of suffered with the getting play groups to last a long time. Is we'll have all these high schoolers, we'll get into stuff, and they'll graduate and move, and it's always been rough to get that going. Anyway, I am a chatty person today. Let's stop chatting and see what else we have. We have the last but not least, or last but least, who knows, what is this? The Trove Pack. And so we'll open this Trove Pack up. Again, pretty disappointing that this is what we got out of the whole mix. Womp, womp, womp. Oh yeah, these little bundles. These are the little bundles from Lorcana. The Lumineer's Trove that just has the 8 packs and the storage box. So just like a bundle from, a bundle from Magic the Gathering, or a kind of elite trainer from Pokemon. So I'll have to open up one of these up on the YouTubes, maybe like one of each. I'll see if any of my patrons want to sponsor an opening, because I do want to get product out to people. So if you don't mind to open for a video, that would help me out and still be able to sell one to you. So that way I don't have to open one up for the store here, which I'm sure we'd have the need for it, but I don't know. I'd rather have someone that would enjoy the game get some of this product before I, get some for myself. Anyway, that is my video for today. Hopefully I'm not all over the place on the camera and whatnot. If you have any suggestions for video topics or things you want to see around the store, let me know in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate all of the people subscribing and liking and commenting and giving feedback. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. And as we get into the Christmas season, I don't know how often I'll be able to post, but start of the new year, let's do some New Year's resolutions and really, really get this channel going to where I start producing some more content. I know I said that for years. One of these days I'll do it. You know I will. See you guys next time.